Hi. Can you guys see me? Is it clear? Hi. Well, this is different. It is different. Hi. I'm waiting for everyone to come in. What can you feed a Russian tortoise? The questions are already coming. Greens, weeds, certain store-bought greens, flowers, anything that's safe. Hi from Canada. Hello. How am I doing today? Well, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Hi. Hello, everyone. Can you guys see and hear me okay? I don't have the overhead light on because I didn't want there to be a super bad glare on my glasses, so I turned it off, but I have the dining room light on. Can you guys see me okay? How am I? I'm stressed out. How are you guys? Hello. There's so many of you guys. Oh my goodness. I would say hi to each one of you, but that would take a while. So I wanted to come on here and do a live stream. I guess I should just start talking. I wanted to do a live stream because I actually have been trying to film for days now. And as in, I wanted to film, and everything I keep thinking about filming just feels so trivial with everything that's going on. And I've been in such a weird funk of a headspace lately that I just haven't known what to film. And I don't know, it's weird, but like I've wanted to film, but I don't know what to film. And then everything I want to film feels really trivial because I haven't addressed like the literal pandemic that's going on in the world and that's affecting like every country. And so I'm like, how am I supposed to film something that just there's so much other things going on right now and I'm so stressed out and Patrick is so stressed out that I just felt like maybe a live stream was the best option so that you guys could ask me what you want to ask if there's anything anyone wants to ask, or I can just like vent and talk. And you can't see me. Can you guys see me? Someone said we can't see you. But then someone said your dog is cute. Thank you. I'm wearing glasses today, yeah, because I haven't had my contacts in for over a week now because I'm like isolating or like self isolating, self quarantining, whatever you want to call it. I'm home. I've been home for a week. I haven't left the house, so I haven't been wearing makeup or contacts or anything. No, I've just been glasses, and I went to put in my contacts to film today, and I was like, I can't. Like, I literally, maybe I should tilt this down because of the glare. Is that better? I went to put in my contacts today and I literally just couldn't because I haven't worn them in a week and haven't felt like it. And I've been in a really, really weird headspace, which you guys probably maybe can't relate to, but I've just been in a really weird headspace. And so I thought maybe coming on here and talking, because if I did film a video, I was going to just film a video stressed out and just talking about what's been stressing me out. So I was like, maybe I should just come on here and just do a live stream. Oh, thank you, Mick. I'm thinking about Man Frog, should I? That's fun if you have the ability to care for one and the finances to care for one, and you're not afraid of like worms or crickets or anything, and you're fine with having to buy those regularly to feed them and all that. If you've done the research and you're ready, why not? I love Lemon. Lemon's doing really good. She's doing great. She's still eating really well. Just a little yellow blob. She's doing good. I love your glasses. Thank you. I actually bought them a long time ago, but probably over a year ago. And I got them because they look like Moo. It was when Moo was alive, but they look like a cow. Can you do a video on hermit crabs? I actually haven't filmed the hermit crabs because they're buried constantly. So if I filmed their tank, I would just be filming dirt. Like they're not surfaced. They come out at night when I'm sleeping. I never see them ever. I check on them and feed them and change their water and mist them down. And that's pretty much it. It's so funny. I get so many requests for the hermit crabs, like to do, but the reason that they've lived, I think they're almost 11 years old, or I've had them almost 11 years now. It's so funny. the reason they live so long is because I don't touch them. I don't hold them. I don't touch them, mess with them, or anything other than spraying, feeding them, spot cleaning, and then I let them be. So I don't film them a lot because I don't see them ever, other than when I'm cleaning the tank a few times a year. That's literally it. Yeah, hermit crabs burrow in their shells. Yeah, they only come out of their shells briefly when they're molting, a few times a year, and that's it. Or when they're changing shells, but usually that's around the same time. Do I keep fish other than goldfish? No, but I want a puffer fish one day, but it's like, don't hold me to that. Such a long way away. My goldfish keep me more than busy. It's a whole thing. I'm really stressed out. It's a whole thing. You love my channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. Thank you, Mick, for that super chat. That was really, really nice. I've never got one of those before. I don't actually know how it works, but I've given them to people. I've never gotten them, so I don't know how really it works, but thank you. Have you taken Blue outside? No, it's actually storming today. It's thundering. I don't know if you can hear it. You'll probably hear it in the back of the live stream. It's been storming every single day here. I'm in Tennessee. It's cold and rainy. So no, I haven't taken him outside, but I am feeding him weeds and dandelions like crazy because we got clover. It's all growing really well right now because of the rain, and it's almost spring. And so he's eating the outside stuff, but he has not been outside. Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate that. I'm doing good. I've been really, really stressed. That's why I'm doing a live stream and not a sit down filming video, because I know that if I sit down and film a video, I'm just going to ramble about everything that's going on in my private life. And I don't know that that's what you guys even want to see. And I don't think that that's helpful. And I don't think that it's going to do any good for anything, because I'm just going to be like, I'm stressed out. There is a virus. I'm stuck at home. I'm also trying to move. But if the economy crashes, how do I sell my house? How do I buy a house? Like, there's so much going on right now. And then also it's springtime. So I would normally be like doing deep cleans, ordering tons of new substrate for like koa and blue. And I would probably normally at this time of year be filming lots of like huge tank clean videos, but I'm trying to move and I'm like planning on moving. Like, that's been the plan. So I don't want to do 100% tank cleans that, like, for instance, for blue, let's say I buy like 3 bags of repti bark and that's like $20 something a bag. And then I do a huge deep clean. But then let's say we find a property in a few weeks, or we move anyway, like there's a bunch of stuff behind the scenes going on and we're trying to like move towards moving. And if we do, then I would have to dump out all of that substrate that I just put in there in order to get his huge enclosure out of the house. I would have to dump it all, and that's a waste. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So like, I've been putting off a 100% clean, and I've just been spot cleaning and then adding repti bark as needed. That's just blue. That's still not lemon and koa and all, you know what I mean? So I've just been so stressed out because I don't know when I'm supposed to be doing things. I'm probably rambling and like oversharing, but I'm just like, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, you're like the 4th person I know that is moving right now, and it's unbelievably stressful. So much sanitizer and what I know. Another thing, I can't go and view people's farms and houses right now because I'm isolating. So like, how are you supposed to be looking at properties when you're not allowed to be like seeing people, let alone going in their private houses right now? Like, the stress, I can't even like explain it. How is Ophelia? Okay, so Ophelia is doing great, but she will not eat. I've done everything I can. She's not like sick. Her rump isn't shrinking. She's acting fine. She goes and gets in her water. She walks around. She came out of her hide tonight. I have her here in the living room so I can see her. Like, she's in a dark, like, bookshelf type nook in my living room. I don't know how to explain it, but she's tucked in there where it's really dark, and I take her out and just look at her once in a while, and she moves and she's walking around and climbing on things, but she won't eat. I've tried crickets, dubia roaches, and I got her a ton of mealworms. I actually bought a lot of mealworms because I was like, oh, surely she'll like these. She did not. So I can't get her to eat, but she loves her water, so she's hydrated, which is good. Bodie is the exact same. Aggressive. He's just aggressive. That's it. Yeah. Bodie's the same. Yeah. Is one of the people moving Tyler Ruggie? Tyler actually already moved. He got lucky. He moved right before this pandemic hit. So he's already in his new house. Probably not. I don't think I'd ever own a leopard gecko, only because I don't have an interest in leopard geckos. Bodhi is my only gecko I've ever had. And at first it was a great experience. And then it just kind of like his aggression really hit me and came out. And so I don't know, it kind of killed any desire I had to like own another gecko. And then I don't want a female gecko because of their egg situation. A lot of people have problems with their female geckos being egg bound, and that terrifies me. And then someone asked about a bearded dragon. I love bearded dragons. I feel like I would rather have a skink than a bearded dragon, but I had a friend who his bearded dragon, this was about a month ago, he called me, and he's a friend I grew up with, and he called me because his bearded dragon, she like was dying or like passing away suddenly, or he thought she was, and he didn't know what was going on. And so he called me because I find that a lot of people do that. I'm not a vet, but it was a Sunday, and exotic vets aren't open on Sundays typically, and so he couldn't take her to a vet. And so he called me and he was like, hey, she's acting really weird, lethargic. I think she's passing away. What is going on with her? And so I basically did like an over the phone like check of her. I'm not a vet, but I was like, show her to me, take pictures, send them to me, show me all her angles, and I can see if I can see what's going on with her. And he showed me her vent, or her bottom, whatever you want to call it. And sure enough, she had prolapsed, and I think she was egg bound. And so I told him I believed that she was egg bound, but I'm not a vet. And unfortunately, she couldn't pass the eggs, and she had prolapsed. And he didn't even realize that had happened. He didn't know that's what that was. He didn't realize that like that's what it would look like. And he had no idea that that was even like a thing that females could do, like, or whatever. And so she passed away. And I felt so bad because he came to me for help, and there was like nothing I could do. And I told him that I believe she was egg bound. And so, yeah, it was really, really sad. But that's what scares me from getting female lizards. So I don't have any desire to get a female lizard. And then, like I said, Bodhi is really aggressive, so I don't want another male. So I'm just kind of like, yeah. I do have animals I want to get though, and I'm going to get one day. I just don't know when, because everything is so messed up right now. Like, I want to move. I can't. Live Laugh Birds is here. Oh my gosh, I love you. Hi. How's your ghost bird? Ghost bird's got an empty cage right now. I haven't set my bird cage up. That's another thing. I was supposed to film a video setting up my cage. I already picked out all of the toys. They're in a bag. I picked them all out, what I'm going to put in there. And I just absolutely have not filmed it, and I haven't set it up because I was going to. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to be moving, I don't want all these toys like knocking around in the cage and loose in case they were to fall out or get lost in the move or fall through the cracks or anything like that. And so I don't want a bunch of stuff in the cage if I'm going to be moving and then having to take the cage down and move it somewhere. So I haven't set the cage up because I thought I was going to be moving. And then everything I try to do with moving doesn't work out. I don't even know. So I haven't filmed that. But I have all my toys. I have my beautiful cage. The cage is sitting there beside my tank. I don't even know. Guinea pig. No, I had a guinea pig years and years and years ago. I'll never get another guinea pig. She bit. She bit a lot. I don't think I'd ever want another one. Where could I get a Herman's tortoise? I would recommend adoption, rescuing, or a breeder. I wouldn't buy one just from like a pet store or something because you just don't know where it came from. You don't know if it's wild caught. You don't know how old it is. You won't know any of those things, and you wouldn't know if it had parasites, if it was wild caught. Herman's tortoises are bred really well in captivity, so there's no excuse for getting a wild caught one, in my opinion. Blue was captive bred. I got him he was 2.5 years old when I got him, and he is over 4 now. So I've had him for 2 years. He's full grown, I believe. He's about 5 inches, and he was 5 inches when I got him. He grew really fast, which, you know, obviously you want him to grow slowly, but I think that his original owner who got him when he was a baby fed him a lot and stuff. So he's a big boy, but he's also really small and is going to be that size, and he's a male, so he's going to stay smaller too. But like I said, I think you should get a Herman's tortoise from a breeder, rescue, or adoption. I adopted Blue off of Craigslist because when I wanted a Herman's, I knew I wanted a Herman's. I wanted an Eastern or Western. I didn't really care, but Easterns are way more common. Westerns are more rare, and they're also a little bit more sensitive. And so I was pretty sure. Hi, Tyler. I love you. So I was pretty sure I wanted an Eastern, and then I saw him on Craigslist one day for like, I think he was $80, $80 or $90, and I was like, sold. He was pretty close. I drove to Kentucky and I got him, and I love him, and he's the best. Live Laugh Birds. How is your newest bird? Didn't you just get a parakeet from Marlene? How is it doing? Would you ever want to own American green tree frog? I don't think so. I really want another Pac-Man. I feel like I could get 20 more Pac-Mans. If I wasn't so scared of getting a baby and it passing away, I probably would get another one. But Lemon's doing so well that I just kind of don't want to like complicate it. I just love her, but I do want more in the future. I definitely would get more frogs. I love frogs. Hi, Connie. Hi, Connie. Sorry, there were so many of those. I wasn't sure if I didn't know what was going on there. Amelia's good. I talked about her when I first got on. Someone asked about her. She has not eaten, but because she's a tarantula, I guess she can go a long time without eating. Her abdomen isn't shrinking, thank goodness, and she loves her water. She still goes and gets in her water dish, but she won't eat for me. I've tried a lot. I've tried crickets, I've tried mealworms, and I've tried my dubias. And periodically, I'll just drop one in there and leave it for a few minutes, and I'll drop it near her. She won't touch anything. I don't know what to do. I already had a beta fish. I had a beta for 5 years. He lived a really long time. I had him for 5 years, and he passed away literally like a few months before I started my YouTube channel. So it's been almost 2.5 years ago, maybe, since he passed away. But I had him for 5 years. I live in Tennessee, and it's storming here too. Yeah, it's storming here. That's what someone asked me if I've taken Blue outside this week or recently, and I was like, no, it's like been raining and storming every single day. It's like thundering today. Do I live in Clarksville? No, I live probably like almost maybe an hour and 40 from Clarksville, maybe almost 2, maybe like an hour and a half. I don't know. I'm actually really bad with distance. I don't go to Clarksville, but I probably live over an hour away from Clarksville. Hi, BBs. I'm doing good. How are you? I live in Cali and it's cloudy, gloomy in Indiana. Yeah, it's gloomy here too, and wet, very wet outside. Sorry, I'm trying to not miss any questions, but do I know how old my tarantula is? She's at least 4. That's what I was told because she was captive bred baby. The store sold her. The person who bought her kept her for 4 years, was going to breed her, decided to get out of tarantulas, and she returned her. And so she was like a returning customer, so they knew she had gotten her from them. And so she's 4, or a little over 4. Yeah, tarantulas can go months without eating. Yeah, that's what I've been told. But her abdomen is staying the same. It's not like super small. It's not like huge, but it's the same size it was when I got her. But I've had her over 5 months and she hasn't eaten. Like I got her in October. That's why I named her Ophelia. It's wild, man. She just hasn't eaten. I don't know. It's so bizarre. I'm not like stressed about it though, because I know there's nothing I can do to make her eat, like she's going to do it when she's ready. Blue is over 4 now. I got him about 2 years ago, and he was 2.5 when I got him, so he's over 4. October 16th is his birthday, and I think maybe he'll be 5 this October, I think. That's what I think. I'm not 100%, but I think so. I want a bird. Still has not changed. Will not change until I get one. I really want my bird, but I haven't gotten my bird yet because I really want to move, guys. I'm going to move. But with this virus crap, it's just like literally it's like it slammed a train into my plans. And so I'm like stuck home. And so I can't go view people's houses or farms or really anything. And I'm not really supposed to be meeting with my real estate agent. I've seen her once in the past 2 weeks. I've seen her once because we went and looked at a farm. But then like I can't go any further than that, So it's like, it's just crap. How do you know if your hamster has the coronavirus? I don't think your hamster has the coronavirus. I'm not a vet or a disease specialist, but if you don't have coronavirus, I doubt your hamster has coronavirus. If you do have coronavirus, don't touch your pets if you can help it. But I don't think that it's transmittable from you to your hamster. I mean, I haven't seen any statistics on that, and I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you can give it to them. And if you can, it hasn't been proven yet, not that I've seen. But I'm also not a vet or a disease specialist, so I don't know. I would love a strawberry Pac-Man frog. I feel like one day I'm going to get them in all the colors, like a strawberry, an ornate, and then I have Lemon, who's albino. Like, I just want all of them. They're so pretty. My hermit crab isn't eating. She may be eating, but they come out at night. You won't see them in their. It's extremely stressful. Extremely stressful. It's the biggest thing that I'm dealing with right now, other than the virus situation, like being an impending doom on my moving. Because if the economy crashes because of all of this, it's like a whole nother layer of adult garbage that I have to deal with and think about. So I'm just like really stressed out. I'm trying to keep my head down so the glare doesn't get on my glasses, but it's not working. Yeah, that really sucks. You were ready to move. Yeah, we actually have our house listed, unlisted. So like all my agent has to do is click the button and our house will be for sale. Like we went through all the steps to get our house listed and we're just on the edge and it sucks. And it's like a whole thing. Does your husband own a pet? Technically he owns all the pets that I own. We're one and the same partners in life, but Milo is his baby. Like Milo's pretty much like the pet that's Patrick's. If Patrick claimed a pet, he would claim Milo. Can you please do all my pets or all my tank video? I honestly want to film that. I want to film. If you guys only knew what was in my head, I have so many videos I want to film. I have so many things I want to do. I have so many desires. I know what I want my channel to be. I know what I want to film. I know what I want. I'm so certain. But my life is literally in a halt mode right now. Like my life is on freaking pause and I just can't get where I want to be. Like I want to move. I want to farm. I want land. I'm so sure of it. I've never been more sure of anything. I want my bird. I want my horses. I want my freaking barn. I just cannot find land right now. Like I can't get out of this house and I can't get there. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm like every single day of my life, I'm looking, but this economy and virus situation is like screwing everything up. And I know that I'm not trying to make it sound like it's, all about me and my problems with it. It's just, this is just what's been going on in my house, in my world. And I know that it's a serious thing. That's why I'm quarantined. That's why I'm home. My family is quarantined. It's a serious problem. It's like a really big deal. And it's shutting down whole countries, and the stress is unbelievable. Like it's like a whole thing. It's just a lot. There's so many like layers to it, You have a Cavalier King Charles. That's so cute. I love them. Patrick wants one so bad one day. Patrick wants one. Are hermit crabs good pets? I actually don't think that hermit crabs make good pets. And I have them, but I've had mine for 11 years almost, give or take 11 years. I don't think they make good pets. I don't recommend them to anyone. Mostly because they're wild caught. They're very sensitive. They pass away very easily. And they are usually 9 times out of 10 mistreated, like in terms of their habitat. So no, I don't think they are. Can you explain the roly-poly hermit crab situation? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I really want to get a tortoise. Do your research. I love my tortoise. I mean, and if someone asks me, do tortoises make good pets? No one asks that. But I think tortoises make amazing pets. However, you have to be committed to their lifespan. It goes hand in hand. So you can provide a tortoise with like everything they need, but if you are not prepared to provide that for the length of their life, then they're not a good pet for you. Does that make sense? Like I think tortoises can be like really easygoing pets even though they have very specific needs depending on the species that you get, I still think they're amazing. I love my tortoise. I love him. Love him. I want more tortoises one day if I ever get my farm. I want more. I want bigger tortoises. I think, oh my God, I could go on all day about tortoises. I love them. But you got to be ready for their commitment of their lifespan because they live a really long time. How would you rate the emotional intelligence connection of tortoise from your experience? Blue is very smart, but it's very much in a food driven way. Like he's looking for adventure. He loves roaming. He loves getting into things. He loves going where he wants to go when he wants to go there. He's very smart. That's why I would never keep him in a tiny little enclosure. Taking him outside is so good for him. He loves it. I mean, the weather sucks right now, but like otherwise, I take him out every single day during the spring, summer, fall. I take him out every day. And if I can't be out there with him, I put my security camera on him, like in the little swimming pool, and then I'll sit inside. Like, let's say it's a really, really hot day, which is great for him with shade, obviously. I have a glass door, so I can sit inside and I can see him and put my camera on him and I can watch him from inside. And I'll just let him get that sunshine that he needs, but like in the safety of an enclosure, you know what I mean? I've done that before. It just depends, but taking him outside is like the best thing. And I usually go out there and I follow him around the yard. If I want to like not have him in the enclosure, I let him walk around. Like there's just so many things you can do, but outside time is like the best for a tortoise. I forget what the question was. Oh, their intelligence. Oh, yeah, he's really smart. But that's what I'm saying. I think that mental stimulation of putting them outside, even if you can't physically be out there, but they're in like a safe enclosure just to get some sunshine, but you're still watching them. Or if you can be outside and it's not super, super deathly hot or something, and then you can have them walk around outside and you can follow them. Things like that. Obviously, if it's cold, you're not going to have them out there, so you don't have to worry about that. But I've done both ways, but they're really smart. And I think that they are very intelligent, but it's not like a toddler intelligence. It's a different kind. It's just they need mental stimulation intelligence, I think. And they do recognize you mostly because you are who feeds them. So Blue will come to me if he's walking around the house. He'll come to me if he sees me open up the lid on his enclosure to like feed him, change his water if it's time for him to have a soak, or if I'm just coming in there to check on him, which I do that a lot throughout the day. But mostly I usually check on him 2 to 3 times a day, morning and night, obviously, but then also feeding and soak if I'm going to soak him. I check on him a lot, but I have a security camera on him. So I check on him more on my phone. Like every few hours, I'll just look at the pet room, look at his enclosure, that's very much just part of my routine in the day. Can I use a big plastic storage bin as an enclosure? If you're meaning for a tortoise, I would not, unless it's a baby. If it's a hatchling or a juvie, so like this, the rule is 1 inch per 1 foot of enclosure. So for every inch of tortoise, 1 foot of tank or enclosure. Enclosure, not tank, but you know what I mean. So that's the rule of thumb, and that is what you should go by. So if the tote is huge and you only have a hatchling, then you may be able to do it, but just be careful with that heat light because it can melt plastic. So, I mean, that's a risk you're taking, the heat light. So just be really careful. Do you have any recommendations for good beginner reptiles or amphibians? Honestly, I believe Pac-Man frogs are like amazing. I don't want to recommend reptiles just because I think a lot of kids get reptiles and don't realize the lifespan that most reptiles have. And Pac-Man frogs can live a long time too. I don't actually know what their actual lifespan is because no one I know who has them like can keep them alive very long or has had very good luck keeping them alive very long. If that makes sense. Like a lot of the baby Pac-Mans I've seen people get pass away very early. That may just be like a numbers thing, like they perhaps weren't the strongest or they weren't meant to survive or they have that failure to thrive thing going on, or there's something in their care that we're doing wrong we don't know about because they're a little bit newer to the trade or to the hobbies or whatever. I don't know. Like I don't have all the answers, but I do know that Lemon's doing really good. I'm very cautious with her though. I'm careful with her. I do mist her down every single day. I turn her substrate multiple times a week. always new food or new water, and then I feed her worms and crickets only with Reptivite. I also do not feed her mice or pinkies or anything. I personally don't believe that it's good for them. I know that's like something people debate because they do get large, especially females. And so that's like a whole thing. But I personally don't feed lemon pinkies or mice or anything like that. And I would never. I just feel like that would be so hard on her digestion. But I'm also not a professional and I haven't owned Pac-Man frogs for decades like some people have who do feed mice and stuff to them. I wouldn't. But I've had really great luck with lemon. Are all mites on hermit crabs deadly? I've never had mites, at least to my knowledge, I've never had them. I've had like little gnats and things like fruit flies and stuff like that. That's very common, especially in Koa's tank because he gets a lot of like fruit and veggies. But I haven't had any issues out of mites. But I would say if your hermit crabs have mites, definitely you need to do a big old tank clean and make sure that you take care of that. But I've never had that problem. My goldfish are doing really good. They're doing really good. There's no fighting. They stopped fighting. I was going to do an update video on them today, actually. That's what I originally was going to film instead of doing a live stream. But I decided not to just because I'm so stressed out and I'm in such a weird headspace. Like, I really am not explaining it well, but I've been thinking about filming for days. And then every time I think of a video to film, it feels really trivial and it feels like not the right time. And then it feels like I can't just sit here and ramble on about like reptile food or something. I don't know. Like it just, my head isn't there. I'm thinking about moving. I'm thinking about the economy. I'm thinking about this virus. I'm thinking about being stuck at home. I'm worried about my friends and family getting sick. I'm worried about like stores being out of, like, there's just so many layers of everything that's going on. And I don't mean to stress you guys out. I'm just like, I'm stressed out. And so I can't possibly just come on camera and be like, hey guys, what's up? Everything's great. Let's talk about tortoise food. You know what I mean? Like I can't do it. I just don't have it in me this week. Maybe next week I'll be better, but this week I don't know what the future is holding. So everything just feels really uncertain. Yeah, it just feels, everything's just really weird right now. Do your dogs like Blue? They have no interest in him really. I can put him on the floor and they don't bother him. And obviously, you should always monitor your pets when they're around each other. And also, you should never let your dogs just be on the floor with like your bird or your hamster or whatever. But Blue is quite literally a little tank. I mean, he is a tortoise with a protective shell, and he is a reptile, and he is super hardy, and he is not really like, I don't even know how to explain it. He's not really vulnerable in terms of like a hamster would be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So obviously I would never leave them on the floor together and whatever. And I don't like let Dixie and Milo and Blue walk around the house together. Like that's not a thing. But I am perfectly fine with taking Blue outside, putting him in the grass while the dogs are in the backyard, you know, but I'm out there with them. So I have no problems with that. But yeah, like that doesn't bother me or anything. And he's really good with the dogs, but obviously they are never like close together or together. Does that make sense? Like I don't think that they could hurt him. I mean, obviously maybe, but I wouldn't like recommend leaving him unsupervised or anything like that. But obviously if you have like hamsters and birds and whatever else, like don't let your dogs play with them. Like that's insane. But other than that, the dogs have no interest in Blue. Like if they're all outside, the dogs don't care. Like they're used to him. I don't know if I explained that well, but I think you got the idea. We have a crazy person in the chat. What is happening? What on earth? I wonder if I can block this person. There, I think I blocked them. Sorry about that. Hi, Liliana. Did I pronounce that right? I think I pronounced it right. Do I like PetSmart or Petco better? I like Petco better, but PetSmart has the best plants for fish tanks, definitely. That's where I got my plants that I did in that video recently. I think PetSmart has way better fish tanks and like fish plants and snail options. Like if you were going to buy a snail, if I was, I have a PetSmart locally kind of that has really big mystery snails. And it's where I got my old mystery snail that's obviously passed away now because she was over a year old. But they have really good snails and plants. But Petco has got Milo and Dixie's dog food, the best cat food that I get, the best bird selection. When I had Moo, that's where I got all my hamster bedding from. So I definitely think that Petco is my favorite, but PetSmart has better fish stuff. My goldfish tank is a 36-gallon bow front, but I also have a 46-gallon bow front that is out in my shed that's never been used. I bought it for Butter when I was going to upgrade her because she was so big. She was like over 6 inches, like with a bunch of thinnage, and she was so beautiful. I miss Butter. And I was going to put her in the 46, so I bought it for her specifically. And then I never could find a tank stand for it because bow fronts are really hard to find tank stands for. And the only 2 tank stands I've ever seen for a bow front are so ugly. They're so ugly. Oh my gosh. And so I never got a stand, and then she passed away, so I never used it. And Bagel is so little, and Biscuit is also pretty small. He's a Yuen Bao Aranda, and so he's basically the same shape and size as Bagel, who's a Ranchu. And so they're just so little, the 36 is perfect for them. So I don't even think I'm going to put them in the 46, honestly, at least not for a while. Because I don't have a stand anyway. Will I be doing any giveaways? I have no plans for any giveaways. I was going to do a giveaway at 50,000, and then I hit 50,000, and I just forgot, and it got away from me, and then I am not that amazing at remembering to do giveaways. Hi, Ella. Hi, Jen. I've been talking about my farm a little bit. There's no update other than I'm having a really hard time stress-wise because I'm really stressed out because being stuck at home with this virus thing, the economy is uncertain, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to move because of all of it. It's just really a freaking mess. Would I ever get a hedgehog? I think hedgehogs are so freaking cute, but I've seen so many people have so many issues with them. And they're also really messy. And so I think for those 2 reasons, I probably would never get one, but I do think they're adorable. Um, 50,000 is amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. How are you coping with the lack of waffle fries? Surprisingly well, but mostly because I miss Subway. I miss waffle fries, and I haven't been, oh my gosh, I don't even know when the last time I went and got waffle fries. I don't know when the last time I vlogged at a pet store was. I don't even know. Months, because winter hit, and when it's really cold, I don't leave the house hardly. And then now the virus has hit, even though the weather is still cold and rainy, but it's not like frigid December, January cold. It's just like cool, you know? And so I haven't had a pet store haul. I haven't had waffle fries. I haven't had Subway in a week, over, oh my God, 2 weeks. I don't even know. It's been so long. I miss Subway. I miss waffle fries. I miss the pet store. Yeah, it sucks. Everything is like, I sound so negative, but I'm really stressed out. Which is why I'm doing a live stream instead of filming, because I cannot film right now. But I'll post this video, I'm sure, on my channel, and then people can go back and watch it if they want. Would you say that a 10-gallon for a very, very, very small goldfish? I would keep a goldfish in a 20 minimum, but I did use a 10-gallon as a quarantine tank for like a couple weeks when I very first got Butter, when she was a little bit smaller. I had her almost a year, and she grew quite a bit in that year. It was about 10 or 11 months, give or take. But I had to turn a 10-gallon at very first, and then it didn't work out. I ended up moving her up to a 20 anyway, which is what I was going to do, but I was just trying to get her 2-week quarantine out of the way. But then it all went bad, and it was a mess. It was just awful experience. And so I would do a 20. Even though it's a small goldfish, they do grow, and you're going to need to upgrade anyway. So if you're just going to buy a tank, I would just start out with a big one. How do I keep the humidity down in my hermit crab tank? It's 90% way too high. I think if you're having a problem with too much humidity, just mist it less often, and then you can control it that way if it's just too much. Hi, Kate. This is a good question. Do Pac-Man frogs need low-level UVB? If you only knew how many times that me and Emma Sampson and even Pickles Pets, we've had this conversation in our group chat so many times, because we wonder, can Pac-Man frogs benefit? I swear I can make a whole video about this because we've talked about it so many times, and the answer we all come out to is we don't know. We wonder. We think maybe. But it's so hard to know, and we're all like too scared kind of to try in a sense because like, well, I'm the only one with a Pac-Man frog left. So I guess I'm too scared to try because she's albino. And so I fear putting any type of a light on her anyway. It's like a whole thing, but that's such a good question. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if Pac-Mans could benefit from UVB. I do feel like I'll know more the older Lemon gets. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not trying to say like I'm not going to do it and then just see how it goes. But at the same time, she is oh my God, someone just gave me $10. Thank you so much, Bill. That was so nice of you. I've never had that before. Oh my gosh. Did you have a question or something? I feel like you deserve a question. Thank you. That was very nice of you. But I don't know if Pac-Mans need a UVB, but or someone's Pac-Man on YouTube passed away, we do this though. Like if you have friends who own pets, I'm sure you've done this. Anytime someone loses a pet or a pet passes away, or someone on YouTube who maybe we don't even know their animal passes away, you always kind of think in your head, like introspectively, you're like, okay, are we missing something? Like if let's say that like Lemon were to pass away, she's fine. But let's just say I would be like, okay, what could I have done different? What did I miss? Was there something I did wrong? And I think that's very natural that anytime someone loses a pet, you ask yourself those questions. So because Pac-Man frogs do have a kind of high mortality rate, at least that's what I've seen. My friends have all witnessed this. So many people have had them on YouTube, and a lot of them have passed away after just a couple of years. And it's always something that gets brought up. Well, what if we're missing something with their care? What if there's something that the hobby community is missing that we don't know about? And so I think it's just something that we think about a lot. And that's such a good question that you asked that. And I could go on all day about whether or not Pac-Man frogs could benefit from UVB. I've seen so many people ask that, and I wish I had the answer. I don't know, and I'm too scared to try. And I don't have enough, like I haven't read enough research on it to know. I don't know. But it is something that I've asked myself so many times. Me and my friends talk about it so much. We just don't know. Bodie is doing good. He is just a little angry thing, but he's doing great. But he's just a little angry thing. He's so angry. I don't have any goats. I don't. I also don't want goats. Patrick jokes all the time. Every time we talk about our farm and we're like planning our farm and talking about what we're going to do on it and how we're going to have the field set up and all this kind of stuff, we always talk about it. And he always jokes. He's like, "You're so excited to get your goats." And I'm like, I don't want goats. I want goats. I think goats are so cute. But I feel like if I have a certain amount of acreage, it's going to be all for my horses. So I don't want goats. What is the minimum tank size for Pac-Man frogs? I've heard people say for babies, 10-gallon for like little bitty Pac-Mans. And then for an adult, I have a Lemon in an 18 by 18 Exoterra. It's like an 18 by 18 by 12, I believe. I don't know if it's called the medium low. That could be wrong. I don't actually know. I forget, but it's an Exoterra 18 by 18 by 12. I look like Pam from The Office. That's funny. I don't think I've been told that. Blue is doing great. Blue's doing really, really well. I love you so much. Thank you. That's so sweet. Will I ever get rabbits? I don't think I'll ever get rabbits. Patrick was actually talking to me about this the other day. He's been watching a lot of like farm videos on like how to farm like vegetables, and he asked me if I wanted to get chickens. Obviously not to kill, but he eats eggs, and so if you have chickens, you know that your chickens are well taken care of, and you can get their eggs. And also, he really wants chickens because he wants their poop for fertilizer for a vegetable garden. It's like a whole thing. Chickens are great to have on farms because they take care of bug problems. They eat weeds. They also, their poop can be used for fertilizer. You can also eat their eggs. Like, and obviously you never have to kill your chickens. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not to eat them. It's to just have them on the farm, like mutually beneficial relationship. And so Patrick asked me if I wanted chickens, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want chickens. And you can use the fertilizer like from their coop or whatever you keep them in for the vegetable garden. And I was like, yeah, chickens would be amazing to have because then I can raise them up from babies and then take care of them for their whole lives. And I would love that. Yeah, I don't eat meat at all. I don't eat any meat. I don't eat anything like that. But I still would love to have chickens to like raise and just take care of and just have, you know, and then obviously like that kind of thing. But yeah, I still don't eat any meat or anything like that. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat eggs. I'm really lax though. Like if I go out to eat and let's say like I get a veggie burger, because like this happened recently, we went to Red Robin and I ordered a veggie burger because they have this really, really good like black bean and quinoa burger, and they put mayonnaise on it, and I still ate it. Like I'm not going to send it back to the kitchen. You know what I mean? Where they have to throw it all away. So I'm not strict on it, but I don't like eat chicken or beef or anything like that. Like I will not eat it. I will not. But if they accidentally put like mayonnaise on my veggie burger, I don't send it back. Like I'm just not crazy, like strict about it, especially when I'm out eating. I understand like things happen, you know, like I'm not going to order it, but if it happens, I'm not going to send it back unless it was like chicken or meat or something like that. Then no, I'm not going to eat that. Does that make sense? Like I am by choice, but I'm not strict. So I don't know if that makes sense. I still use cruelty-free, pretty much everything that I can. I get as much cruelty-free as I can. None of that's changed. Yes. I recommend Pangea. I use the red Pangea with insects, but that's mostly because Bodhi doesn't like the Pangea, like I think there's like a mango and like a banana one and an apricot one. He hated the apricot. He didn't even touch it. So he really likes the red one, which is the one with insects. So I really recommend Pangea. He loves it. Am I going to get a snake? No, I'll never get a snake. It's like the last animal on the earth that I would ever want to own. I would never get a snake. Are succulents safe to put in hermit crab tank? I don't know. That's a really good question. I know that they like to pick at things, so I honestly can't answer that. I've never seen anyone do it, so I honestly don't know. What would my dream pet reptile? Blue, my tortoise. He was my dream. I wanted a Herman's tortoise. That's like, yeah, he was my dream, and I got him, so that was amazing. Even though I can still go, but you're trying to stay inside. Yeah, I'm staying inside too. You said you miss going to get coffee. Luckily, my favorite coffee in the world is the coffee I make here at home because I've got the best vegan creamer in the universe. Is the best vegan creamer money can buy, and it's so good, and it makes my coffee amazing. Yeah, my vegan milk creamer. It's like I think is it coconut or almond? I can't remember, but it's like the best vegan vanilla creamer. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Biscuit's doing amazing. I really did want to film an update video today. I feel really badly that I didn't film like an actual video, but I just was honestly feeling a lot of pressure and stress from everything that's going on. So just sitting down and filming a video didn't really seem like the best idea for me. I just felt like talking, but not in a structured way. Does that make sense? Mental stimulation for tortoises. If I could recommend anything, it's taking them out of their enclosure and letting them go. Let them walk around the house, monitoring them, taking them outside. Even if it's just taking them out of their enclosure and putting them in like a plastic tub, which is what I do. Like like I said, if you want to put them outside, but you don't want them to roam loose, get a big plastic swimming pool and put them in there outside. That's what I do with Blue. My favorite animal that I have, I love all of my animals. I will say Milo is like for me, the equivalent of a baby. Like he is my baby. Like he is my world, my baby. Like Milo was the first pet I ever got with Patrick. We got him. Oh my gosh, when we very first got together. So he's he is 11, almost 11. I think he's 11 this year, maybe. So he's like, 11 years I've had this dog. So he is my baby. I don't think I'm gonna get another hamster. I can't say never because I do love hamsters, but I don't think I have any plans of getting another one. Trying to move. I've been trying to make sure the fish stay adjusted. I finally tore down the 20-gallon quarantine tank, so they're doing good. And Patrick also built me a barrier wall that I can use if Bagel starts going crazy again. I wanted to show you guys that. Maybe I'll show that in a video, in an update video. For sure, because I know a lot of people would be interested in seeing how he built that. But he built me this amazing DIY tank divider wall. And yeah, in case Bagel starts going crazy. But luckily, they're getting along really well. No fighting or anything. So thank goodness. My first pet ever was a dog that my parents had before I was born. And then my first pet that was mine and not a family pet was a rabbit. My brother and I both got rabbits when we were I think I was 4. I was 4. New animal plans. My plan is to move. That is my next plan. I'm not getting any more pets until I move. And then I'm fingers crossed. I actually am trying to move within the next couple months. I don't know what's going to happen with all this coronavirus crap, but if I can, I may be moving in the next couple months. But that's, again, I tried to move last fall, and I've been trying to move for over 6 months now. And every time I do it, something messes up or someone passes away. It's just a mess. It's a disaster, honestly. Now it's a friggin' pandemic stopping me. So every time I think I know what's going to happen, it gets messed up. So I think I'm missing questions. I do the right thing moving my hermit crab who surface molted out of her tank and putting her in a critter keeper full of eco-art. I can't answer if that was the right thing to do. Typically, if they're surface molting, it's because there's something wrong with their environment, like their substrate may be really dry or not deep enough. So if either of those issues happen, then there's a chance that your hermit crab may pass away if it's surface molting. It's really not good that they surface molt. So I wouldn't have touched it, but also if they're already surface molting, there's a chance that they're having a bad molt, and there may be something environmentally that could have gone wrong, like no salt water to dip in. Maybe they didn't get moist enough. Maybe the substrate wasn't deep enough. I don't know. I don't know without seeing your enclosure. I'm just telling you what I've seen or read and stuff like that. So I've never had a hermit crab surface molt before. But I've read that people had that happen, and usually they passed away. So if your hermit crab is okay and active, you could put it back in its tank if it's back in its shell and everything. But I don't know what your circumstances are, so I'm sorry. That's not very helpful. I'm missing comments. I'm sorry. They're going kind of fast and they're long. Cast iron is safe for birds, yes, but seasoning your cast iron killed my bird. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That's so sad. Typically to season a cast iron skillet, you would just oil it down and then put it in the oven while the oven's hot, but you obviously don't want to put it too high. You don't want to make your oven super, super, super hot. And I only ever seasoned my cast iron by putting it in the oven, but I did that a year ago or 2 when I first got my cast iron skillet. So basically every time I use it, and then when it's done, I wash it out with just plain water and a rag, and then you put the cast iron skillet on a stove top on high heat, and you just let it dry out, and then I take oil and I wipe it down. So that's all the maintenance I've ever done on my cast iron skillet, but I don't have a bird, so I'm really sorry. That's really sad. Let me see. The most common disease in tortoises, probably metabolic bone disease, which is human error. It's from inadequate husbandry. So that's probably the one that I see the most would be metabolic bone disease, pyramiding, which aren't really diseases, but they also kind of are, but it's human caused. Other than that, probably parasites, just from them eating unknown things outside, maybe. And then beyond that, maybe gout. Gout's another one that tortoises can have. Shell rot if they're kept in too moist of environments. I mean, there's lots of things that can go wrong with tortoises, but most of them are human caused by inadequate husbandry. So they can be prevented, which is a good thing. Blue's personality. He is, my back is hurting. Sorry, Mama, let me scare you. He's very sweet. He doesn't bite. He's very easygoing. He's very, he loves to explore. He loves to walk around. He loves to go outside. He's just a really, really good tortoise. He's just very sweet. A chinchilla. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'll ever get a chinchilla. Why would I not own a snake? Because I would never have anything that had to eat mice or rats or anything like that. Would I ever breed my goldfish? No, but I do think Biscuit's a female, which is like a whole nother thing. Pretty sure Biscuit's a female. And I was told that Biscuit was a male, but Bagel has been chasing Biscuit like once in a while, like as if Biscuit is a female. So I guess we'll see. But I don't want to breed them. I won't breed them intentionally, but I also think that they'll eat the eggs because I'm not going to take them out. Like normally, if you were going to breed goldfish, you would have the male chase the female. Female would drop her eggs. Then you would remove them both, and then let the eggs like develop or whatever, so that the parents don't eat them because goldfish do eat their eggs. So I'm not removing them. So I would just let them eat the eggs, if that makes sense. My hermit crabs, I assume, are doing fine. They're the same as they've been. I don't see them very much. They come out when I'm not looking or at nighttime. I do not have a Horsfield's tortoise. I have a Herman's tortoise. Testudo hermani bulgari is the subspecies that I have. Oh no, the comments are going so fast. My dream dog breed for me was Milo. Patrick is a Cavalier King Charles. Koa is doing really well. He is actually very, very bitey now. I don't know what happened, but he bites me any chance he can get. So I have to keep my hands away from his like face or front. Like if he sees my hands, he like lunges to come and bite me now. And I don't know if it's because it's spring or what the heck. I mean, he's just crazy, but if I get him outside, he's fine. He goes on about his business. Like he'll do whatever. He's still eating good. He's still like doing fine. But for some reason, he like loves biting now. And so I have to be really careful because now I have two reptiles, Koa and Bodhi, both like super, super bitey and aggressive. I don't know. But Koa's doing good other than that. Do I regret getting any pets? Probably my hermit crabs. I regret my hermit crabs, not because of their care is hard or anything like that, which is a lot of times why people would regret an animal, right? Like you see a lot of people rehoming parrots and stuff because they got them, didn't realize how loud or how big of a commitment they were, and then they get tired of them, they rehome them. It's not because of that reason. I think I regret my hermit crabs because they're wild caught, and people want me to make videos on them so much, but like they're not a pet that I have any intentions of promoting for people to get. The only time I make videos on them is tank cleans and when I'm like telling people please don't buy them and educating on how people shouldn't own them. And so I don't make, like the way I make hermit crab videos is very different than the way that I would make fish videos or tortoise videos or like my future bird videos. You know what I mean? It's just a completely different like vibe and narrative from the message I want to get across, if that makes sense. And so yeah, I don't think of my hermit crabs the way that I think of the rest of my animals, in terms of like, I would never want anyone to get them, and I wouldn't promote it. And I don't want people to view me making videos on their care as me endorsing like them being wild caught. It's like a whole thing. I regret getting them only because of the fact that I don't want people to get them. And I wish that I would have known better, because they are wild caught, and it's not cute. That's not cute. Don't do it. Don't get them. But I do love them. Like, I love all my animals. That doesn't change, but I don't want people buying them. Do you have any info on Russian tortoises? Russian tortoises are very similar to Herman's tortoises. Oh no, my connection is bad. I think it's raining. Russian similar to Herman's tortoises. Their care is very, very similar. Herman's tortoises can handle a bit more humidity than Russians. Russians prefer it a little bit drier. Camp Kennan tried, I believe, Camp Kennan had tried to have Russians. I believe, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he tried to have Russians in Florida, where he is. But the humidity was so high, they didn't do well down there. From what I remember from his video a long time ago. So that was something I learned that kind of stuck with me, was that they are a drier loving species. They don't do as well as a Herman's would in a little bit more higher humidity. So they do like it a bit drier. That doesn't mean they don't need soaks or water or anything, but it just means that respiratory wise, they don't do well with super high humidity. But they are very similar to Herman's in terms of diet. They eat all the same things. They still need calcium supplements, cuttle bone, beak work, nail work, all that kind of stuff. So they're very similar to Herman's. They are, but I've heard they're more hardy than Herman's, even though I know it seems kind of weird, but because they are drier loving, they are more forgiving, I think, in terms of like humidity and care. So you can keep it drier, and not have to like stress on that as much as you would like for pyramiding in a Herman's. Pyramiding in Herman's is much more common if their humidity isn't kept at a proper level during their time from going from a hatchling to a juvie to an adult. So you have to pay a lot closer attention to that. Also, for the sake of their respiratory system, you have to pay attention to the humidity. So I could go on all day about tortoises, but basically, I hear that Russians are hardier than Herman's, but Russians don't handle humidity as well as Herman's. So you want to keep them on the drier side. Same tank sizes in terms of 1 inch per 1 foot, same diet, overall care, very similar. Yes, I would get a different species of tortoise. I love tortoises. Herman's tortoises are my favorite type of tortoise. But if I could get another tortoise, I would definitely get I would probably get an Egyptian. I really want an Egyptian tortoise one day. Again, it's going to be so long, but that's a smaller tortoise. I would also like a sulcata one day. I think I might like another bigger tortoise species. I don't know which one. There's just so many. I don't know. Lemon's doing really good. How can you help pyramiding in tortoises? So pyramiding is obviously I'm not a professional, but pyramiding is basically a direct effect of a husbandry problem. So it's either going to be with diet or humidity. If you keep them as hatchlings and juvies in a bit more of a humid environment, now that can be controlled by morning mistings, soaks, and also making sure that there's little microclimate pockets in their enclosure. So if you're, keeping one corner of the enclosure moist underneath the substrate by dumping a little bit of water in one end, or if there is a moist hide that you keep really, really moist, but the other end is dry, to make sure that there's, some temperature variances and microclimates going on in there, you can control pyramiding that way. So like if you were to just get a plastic tote with no water and a dry substrate and you put a hatchling Herman's in there, it's going to have severe pyramiding. But if you have a proper enclosure that is long and has a heat variant where you have a warm end and a dry and warm end, and then a moist and cool end, they can go back and forth. There is a microclimate situation going on underneath the substrate, where if you're spraying, you're going to get little pockets of moisture. They can dig down and get more moist. Usually that's how it would work. The top layer would be dry, underneath would be more moist. You can dump a little bit of water in there on one end. Obviously, if you don't have you don't want to dump gallons, but I'm saying you can dump a cup of water and make one end really moist to just give some variance in there, things like that. That's how you would control it. And then obviously a well-balanced diet, calcium, making sure to have a proper basking light so that they can process their calcium and under the UVB, and it's like a whole thing. So there's a lot that goes into them, but once you get the hang of it, it's doable. Do I like mammals or reptiles more? Ooh, that's a good question. I think reptiles are easier, but then they're not. Okay, so cats and dogs are just a much different, which is what I would think of as mammal. Like cats and dogs and stuff, they're much more like in your lap, in your face, constant attention, but they have an easier level of care, and understanding of their care is much easier, I think, than a reptile, which is much more like nuanced and depending on the subspecies, because it's not so easy as just saying, like cat, dog, or whatever. Even though there's different breeds with dogs, species is a whole different thing in terms of reptiles, because there's so many levels and layers, and then under each type of species you've got subspecies, and then their care is very different. So I think that that's a lot more complicated and a lot more room for error and a lot more room to make mistakes, which can be detrimental. And I think it's harder. I think reptiles are harder, but also they can be easier to care for, if that makes sense, because they're not as like you don't have to walk your lizard every few hours. You know what I mean? So it's not so much like time demanding, but their care is more intense. That makes sense. Bye, Lynn. Hermit crabs are doing good. A good first pet, I would say dogs and cats. If you have parents to help you, dogs and cats are good first pets. Blue is doing really good. A good first pet would be dogs and cats. My animals have been keeping me, I wouldn't say keeping me busy, I would say keep me entertained since I've been home. I love my animals. I am normally home with them all the time, but now I'm definitely 100% home. I haven't been leaving the house in over a week now. So they've been keeping me entertained. I don't consider them busy just because I like taking care of my animals. It's not just like a chore, a hobby, etc. It's like my passion and my love and what makes me happy. So I wouldn't want to be doing anything else, so they've been keeping me entertained while I've been home, I would say. You have a turtle named Lucky and a gecko named River. Oh, those names. I love the name River. Oh, like River Phoenix. I love that name. Beautiful name. You can feed a Horsfield tortoise the same things that you could feed a Herman's tortoise. So same thing, weeds, flowers, clover, dandelion, hibiscus. I have a hibiscus tree here to my left or my right. What is this? Right. Hibiscus leaves, flowers, dandelion leaves, their blooms. I actually showed a book on my channel. I have a great tortoise diet book, and I would pull it out if it wasn't packed up in a tote, but we packed a lot of our stuff up trying to move. So all my books are packed up, which is like actually really devastating. And I hate it because I can't just grab a book when I need one, which I hate that. But I have a really great book. I've showed it on my channel. I have a video on that book. And it's what is safe and unsafe plants that you can feed your tortoise outside. So it's basically a whole book with pictures, and it shows you everything that you can pick to feed your tortoise that's safe, and all those things are safe. The book was based around Herman's tortoise, which is a testudo species, but there's a lot of subspecies underneath the testudo, you know what I mean? So you can actually feed that to most tortoises. It's safe. The book was based in UK. The lady who wrote it is in the UK, so you would have to go online and find that if it's still available. But I bought 2 or 3 copies of it because it's such a good book, and it's like a small little pamphlet type book, and it's amazing because anytime I second guess myself, picking dandelion greens or anything like that, which I'm good at it now, but originally it can be kind of nerve wracking, and you can be scared to pick the wrong thing. So that book really helped me. I don't have any info on baby beardies. I don't have a beardie. I've never had one, but yeah, I think they're adorable, but I don't have much info. Just don't let them drown, because I hear that beardies can kind of gorge themselves on water and drown. So just be really careful when you're doing soaks. That's one thing I know. More videos with Blue. I filmed 2 videos recently with Blue, but yeah, I'll film more. I just think once I get out of this filming funk that I'm in right now with the uncertainty of my future and the impending like virus that's going on and the uncertainty of the economy and whether or not I'm going to move and how I'm going to go visit farms when I'm with filming in terms of like getting my mind on that, I'll do more. I'm going to film more, obviously, and I know I want to. It's just a matter of when. I love Blue's enclosure too. Thank you. You built one for your Russian? That's amazing. I posted on Instagram the other day. Someone tagged me. I forget who it was, but someone tagged me and they built an enclosure for their Herman's tortoise, and it was built just like Blue's. And it just made me so happy. Video on building, or Patrick building Blue's enclosure is being used, and people are actually like replicating it for their tortoises. And it makes me so happy because it's such a big closure and it's so practical and it's so nice. It makes me happy. Would I ever get rats? No, I wouldn't get rats. I wouldn't get rats just because they need a lot of one-on-one attention. And if I'm going to get an animal that needs a lot of one-on-one attention, I want my parrot. I want a bird so badly. So that's what I would rather have to spend like one-on-one time with. Your hermit crab's name Sir Shellington. Oh, that's sweet. No, hermit crabs are shy. You can't really get them to open up. It's not like a reptile or something where, you know, maybe they get more comfortable with you. They just have an innate sense of being, you know, scared. So they just hide. They're going to bury a lot, and they'll come out at night when you're sleeping. Do I have a name picked out for your future bird? Yes, I do. I already have a name because I want a female bird. Even though I know some people may prefer males, I really want a female. And I have a name picked out, but I'm going to keep it quiet because you never know what could happen. You know, I could end up getting a male, like who knows? So I do have a name picked out though. Milo's like, you stopped rubbing me. You had a parrot named Gizmo? Aw. Film more cleaning videos. I want to film more cleaning videos, and I may be filming them pretty soon. If we move, I'll be filming a bunch of them because I'll be having to reset up and move all my enclosures. So I will be filming a bunch of that coming up if we move. So it's just, I need time because I don't know what's happening in my life right now. Like, I don't know what my future is doing right now. Your tortoise is named Milo. My dog's named Milo. Bodhi's doing good. All right, guys, I've been on here over an hour. I think I'm going to go, but thank you so much to a couple super chats that I got. That really meant a lot. If you guys are still here, I really appreciate all the questions. I'm going to hop off. I hope I can upload this stream onto my channel. That would be amazing so that anyone who missed it can go back and watch it or anything. But yeah, so what's a good first pet? I said a dog or a cat. I think a dog or cat's good, but yeah, so I'm going to get off here, but thank you guys so much for all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry that, I'm really sorry that I haven't filmed more videos. I've been filming one a week, which is my like number right now. One a week is pretty good, I think, for me right now with everything that's going on. But guys, stay home, take care, wash your hands, be safe. Try to not spread this virus that's going on. I'm going to keep you guys updated. I'm going to do another fish video, update you guys on how the fish are doing. I want to show you guys the tank divider that Patrick made too. So more updates are coming. I just need to get my bearings and figure out what is going to happen with all this quarantine stuff, the economy, moving. There's a lot going on. So I'll keep you guys updated. Follow me on my Instagram. That's where I do immediate updates anytime anything happens, which is Little Lottie 24 on Instagram. So follow me there. But I will see you guys in my next video. Probably won't be a live stream, probably be a regular video. But I hope you guys are enjoying being home. I know it sucks, but I hope you guys are enjoying catching up on people's channels. I know a lot of people are filming a lot right now. So yeah, but I will see you guys later. Be kind. Bye.